So I'm now joined by Daniel Lawrence Taylor. So Daniel, I'm going to start off by asking what could be a simple question, but could also be the most complex question you could ask another human being. How are you?
Okay. How am I? That's a tricky one. I'm good. I'm good. I'm really, really well. Yeah, it's been good. It's cold, but apart from that, I'm good.
I asked you on because of Time Wasters, which I saw recently, and it was just amazing. How did that project come to be?
I think it started at the beginning of 2015. So quite a while ago. It might even been 14, but I was doing another show called Cockroaches, which was for ITV2 as well. And I was working with the same production company that made Time Wasters. And whilst I was working on it, I had this show, this idea in my head. And because, I mean, you've seen it, it's about a jazz band that goes back in time to 1920s. Just because it's such a weird idea, I was like, I can't really pitch this on paper. I'm just going to have to write it. So I ended up just writing it in a couple of days, just a 30-page script, which was, if you write a script in 2 days, it's going to be shocking. But it kind of gets the idea of like the kind of characters and the world that I'm trying to create. So I kind of put that together, gave it to my producer, and then loads of time went by. And then I found out the reason why he didn't read it is because he said it would have been awkward if he read it and it was awful. And then we were still working on the show together. So he avoided it. And then luckily he came to me and he was like, oh, I actually really enjoyed it. It was good. So we met up, started talking about it. And then again, a similar thing where we both thought there's no point trying to write a treatment. It's just a good idea if we work up the script so we can send that to a channel. So we did that, worked up the script, sent it to ITV. They really liked it. Then they gave us a bit of money to develop it some more and do a read through at the end of the year, which we did. They really enjoyed it. So they commissioned a pilot, did that. And then off the back of the pilot, we got the series. And then that's what you saw.
What was the whole casting process like for that? Because you didn't actually all know each other, but it comes across, the friendship shines on screen. So
good.
What was that process like? How's it to select people that are going to play your friends?
Yeah, I mean, the chemistry thing, I suppose it's quite odd. Like that's what I love the most. And I love the fact that that's what people enjoy the most, the cast and our chemistry, because it was just coincidental that we all got on. Like when we did the first read through, I remember the commissioner came up and she was like, it's so cool. Like you've been able to get all your friends in your show and they're all really great. And I was like, I did not know them at all before this casting process. Basically, I just, like most things, just held auditions. So it was because we was casting a read through, so your budget's a bit smaller. So we didn't see that many people. But when we saw Khadi for Jason and Samson for Horace, they came in. I think they were both the first people to audition for their roles. And they were just spot on. They were perfect. So it was like, great, perfect. And then when it came to casting Lauren, played by Ade, she was a bit harder to find because we found a few people, but no one was quite nailing it. And then Ade came along and she was just incredible. And then we did about maybe 3 tops read-throughs, like kind of chemistry reads to kind of... but more so for me to develop the script and kind of get the voices for the characters and stuff like that. So we did quite a few of those. And then just over that process, we just kind of became like friends, really. And then off the back of that, we just, every time we met with each other, we just laughed and joked. And I think from what they told me, they really loved the script and they were really up for doing it. And so I think there was just like a mutual excitement that we all had about doing the show. Because it was a really, as you can see, like it's a really fun show because it's time travel and it's jazz and it's excitement and jumping around and running around and stuff like that. So I think everyone was just quite excited to do it.
Did you find it difficult to balance writing time travel and a comedy? Because even though time travel isn't real, there are still rules that have been set down by previous projects.
Yeah. I mean, you'll notice in the first episode, like I kind of just chuck it out the window. Before I put pen to paper, I was just thinking about how to do that time travel thing. And funnily enough, it was working on Cockroaches which does a similar thing where it just tells the audience to get on board or don't. So in Time Wasters, it's literally Horace runs in and says, guys, I found a time machine. And we go to the time machine, and it's run by this homeless guy called Homeless Pete. And we go back in time, and we literally cut out all the science, or, you know, all the stuff that other other movies that have done so well. You know, Back to the Future does it so well, where it talks about like plutonium and getting it from the Russians and all of that stuff to power this thing that has to go at a certain speed.